Brazil can drill for oil. Why aren't we drilling for oil? Why aren't we drilling for oil in this country? A friend of mine who's doing pretty well, and not a real rich guy, but a guy he's always wanted to do this. He bought an airplane, or he's buying it. And I said, oh, what kind of a plane is it? He tells me the name of the plane. Oh, where's it made? Brazil. I said, why are you in Brazil? He said, because I get a $1.2 million tax credit in the United States if I buy this plane. And I'm saying, what is going on? So we don't use our right people. Now, I know Wall Street very well. I know all of the killers. I know all of the guys that are the smartest guys. I know the ones that aren't as smart. I know sort of all of them. And why aren't we, when we negotiate against China, against South Korea, against all of these countries, why aren't we using our smartest, greatest business people? Who, by the way, I'd put them against anybody. We have the best. I'd put them against anybody. But instead we use a diplomat. And as I've said, a diplomat, you know what a diplomat is? That's a person that studies how to be nice. I don't want a nice person. And that's why I may not make it in terms of getting, I'm not that nice a person. But I'll tell you what, I'd make this country great again. That I can tell you. Now, we had a great victory last week with the killing of bin Laden. That was great. Enhanced interrogation really led us to that. Now, enhanced interrogation, another thing. You know, we're so politically correct. And nobody wants to say it. Nobody ever wants to use the word. Isn't there another word for that? Torture. And you know what? The people that I watched jump off the World Trade Center, that was torture, okay? So we catch this guy, they shoot him, then they clean his body, they give him a religious ceremony, they take 45 minutes, they take, why? I don't understand it, okay? I don't understand it. And in terms of torture, in terms of enhanced interrogation, we wouldn't have caught bin Laden without it. That's what got us to him. And we're right now, as you know, they're under investigation, numerous people that used enhanced interrogation, to use the nicer term, after September 11th. And I think those people should not be under the kind of gun that they're under. I don't think so at all. Now, one of the things that was recently found out is that bin Laden's plan, and one of his plans, and he had many of them, was to bankrupt what was the former Soviet Union, which he succeeded in doing, and hence it broke up, and now it's called Russia, smaller version. Very powerful, smaller version. But that war bankrupted Russia. He wanted to bankrupt the United States. Now we're spending $10 billion a month, $10 billion on building schools, on all of the other things that we're doing in Afghanistan. And for what? What are we doing? And I heard something the other day that I have to really, we're going to do a little research, you're all going to do this research. While we're fighting in Afghanistan, I heard that they have tremendous mineral resources in Afghanistan. I always thought, you know, I look at the oil, I look at Iraq, I look at the different countries, and I see things. But tremendous mineral resources. And you know who's in there trying to get them? China! While we're out there fighting, spending billions and billions and billions of money. Nobody knows how much money we're spending. Nobody knows. But we're spending billions of dollars on fighting. China's out there trying to get its foot to get the minerals in Afghanistan. I mean, think of it. But we can't build schools in our own cities. We can't build roads in our own cities. I've been to China numerous times, and I see bridges going up, and I see airports going up like you wouldn't believe. When was the last time you saw a major bridge being built in the United States? It doesn't happen. First of all, you can't get the environmental approvals. It's impossible. You know, when I was over there, it was very interesting. A friend of mine from China, hey, I respect what they do. If they can take advantage of our leaders, you know, I have great respect for that if they can do it. But they're filling in a big chunk of the ocean. And I'm saying to myself, I said to my friend, how long did it take you to get your environmental permits? He looked at me and goes, what? What are you talking about? He said, Donald, it's the ocean. You know, they're filling in about a quarter mile by a quarter mile. They're going to build a big complex, a huge thing. And they actually fill in parts of the ocean to build a city. You know that. They build new cities over there, like in about 12 minutes. They say, we want a city over there. They start work the next day. Mayor, it's a little different than what we do, right? But I know, and I've gotten many environmental awards, so I don't want to sound like this guy that's, oh, gee, I'm totally into fairness. But I've seen jobs that were going to employ thousands and thousands of people stopped because of a blade of grass that happens to be a unique blade of grass. I've seen them stopped over a certain type of fish, over this and that. And I deal with environmental consultants all the time. And I look at them and I say, you know, that's horrible. That's horrible. I mean, they're going to stop progress. Isn't that horrible? He goes, actually, Donald, it's not horrible for me because I'm making a fortune and you're paying me a fortune and so is everybody else. And these guys actually go up to Albany, in the case of New York, and they make the restrictions harder, the consultants that are working for you, so that you have to hire them to get you through this horrible situation. And in many cases, you can't get through. And if you're not rich, you can't get through it all because you can't go through the process. I mean, I could tell you job after job after job. And it's like even the drilling of oil, where Abu Dhabi recently, and they have so much energy, they have such resources, they went out and they announced that they were going to have all of their transportation needs done in this, okay? Because they wanted natural gas, that's it. Because they're going to sell the oil to the United States and other places. And yet, we're the king of natural gas. We have more natural gas than anybody. Coal, natural gas. I mean, wind is limited, honestly. Solar really hasn't been perfected and it's very expensive. I know them all. You know, I go and I build a building and I say, I want to use solar. I want to use solar. And I'm good at dollars. So I look, they come back. And the solar, they said, yes, that will take you approximately 22 years. 22-year payback. I said, maybe I won't use solar. It hasn't been perfected, and it's going to get better. But we have tremendous, we're the king of coal. We're the all-time of natural gas. We don't use it. And then you hear a country like Abu Dhabi using natural gas so they can sell their oil. And it's just incredible to me. I look at what's going on. I look at Pakistan, not our friend. And I have to say, if you look at Bill O'Reilly from a few weeks ago, if you look at Neil Cavuto from not so long ago, I said Osama bin Laden is in Pakistan. And some of you probably heard this, and I was very loud and clear. We give Pakistan billions and billions of dollars a year. We're going to give them $3.2 billion, I think they're asking for now, and even more. And I said, listen, I understand something about that. You tell them that we're not giving them, this is on 2 shows a little while ago, long before the event took place last week. You tell them, we're not giving you any money unless you hand over to us Osama bin Laden. And everybody looked at me like, Nobody else picked it up. You know, it's amazing. I make these statements and no politician picks them up. So obviously they're not very good statements, I guess. But they never get picked up. And you know, when they are good, it's interesting because I have another one. But when they are good, they pick them up and they don't give me credit. That's what I hate about politics, Mary. You know, when I buy a piece of real estate, I own it. Okay? But, you know, when you come up with a good idea in politics, if they like it, they take it. They don't, you know, they say, I have an idea. And, you know, by that time, most people forgot it was Trump's idea. So Trump doesn't get any credit. And I love to get credit. I love to get credit. But I said, right on there in television, you could look over the last number of weeks, those 2 shows, let them give us this guy. Now, if anybody thinks that they didn't know that he was there, when they have a sophisticated, somebody said many times the size of West Point, that he wasn't sitting in this big house. I didn't. They made it like this